it from her mama. I'ma say you got it right. Body rude is polite. Don't be in the humble type. Tell me, is you down? Cause I'm tryna go good tonight. Posing hoochies left and right. I just wanna live in a fantasy. I think we deserve it.
Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today's video is just going to be a very simple pop art tutorial, and here's what you're going to need. You're going to want to have a few different liner brushes. All of them should be pretty thin. You're going to want a short liner brush, like a medium length liner brush. This is good for like the cuticle area. And then you're going to want to have a long liner brush. You will need a dotting tool. The size really doesn't matter, just a couple different varieties. You will also need a glossy no wipe top coat and a matte no wipe top coat. We're going to be doing 3 different colors today. You're going to need a light and a dark for each color that you're doing. So I have a dark pink and a light pink, a dark yellow and a light yellow, and then a peach and a true orange. And I'll explain why you want to have a light and a dark for each nail as we move through the video. You'll also want to have a very pigmented black gel polish, and this will be for the trim. And also a black and a white gel paint or gel polish, and this will be for the smaller details on the nails. So jumping in, for the first 2 nails, I'm going to be using the darker of the 2 colors. So I'll be starting off with the dark yellow, and I'm going to do 2 coats, curing each coat for 60 seconds. For the second nail, the stiletto, I will be using the dark pink, and I'll be doing 2 coats, curing each coat for 60 seconds. For our last nail, I will be using the lighter of the 2 colors. So 2 coats of this really pretty peach. And I will be doing the second coat off camera. I am curing each coat for 60 seconds. I chose to do this nail with the lighter of the 2 colors because of the detail we're going to be doing in the darker color. So that's why this one is lighter and not the darker shade like the other 2 nails. All 3 nails have been fully cured and they all have 2 coats of gel polish. Now we can go into adding our trim and our pop art detail. For the trim or frame of my pop art nails, I like to use just a regular black gel polish. You can do this with gel paint or a gel liner. I just prefer to use regular gel polish for this step. Here's where the different lengths of liner brushes come into play. I like to use brushes that are similar in length to the nails that I am framing. So typically I would not use a long liner brush for a short nail. I would go more toward a medium length liner brush. I'm not saying that you can't use a longer or a shorter liner brush. I just feel like it's a lot easier to create the lines that you need to when the length of the brush matches the length of the nail. I start out by drawing 2 lines, one on each side of the nail. And these lines should be pretty thick, not thick as in like the amount of product that you're using, but more like the width of the lines that you're drawing. A good way to tell if your lines are thick enough and if you're going to get that pop art effect is if you look down at the nail, not straight at it, but look down over the top of the nail. If you can see those lines when you look down at it, then you're okay. The lines are thick enough. If you look down at the nail and you can't see the lines that you drew, then you want to make them a bit wider or a bit thicker. When you get to the cuticle area of the nail and it's time to connect those lines at the sides, you want to make sure you're rounding off those corners. You don't want sharp corners at the cuticle area, only along the free edge. Once you draw your line across the free edge, you want to make sure that that line is also pretty thick, but you want those corners to remain sharp. You don't want to round off the free edge. I'm going to do a quick check just to make sure that I can see all of my black lines overhead and cure for 60 seconds. For the smaller details, I'm going in with this gel paint in black and white. I like to do the smaller details with a gel paint as opposed to gel polish because I get better control, and they are so pigmented I can use less product to create the details that I need to. They're really small, and I notice that when I do those details with regular gel polish, they don't seem to be as crisp. So I like to create them with gel paints. Before I add my small details on this nail, I am going in with some rubbing alcohol on a lint-free wipe just to wipe off that inhibition layer because this color has a lot of it and I don't want to have any smearing later. I am going to be using my super short liner brush, the shorter of the three that I showed you earlier, to create these details. We're gonna go into our white gel paint to create our light reflection, and this shape is just like a cane. If you want to flip the nail upside down and just create like an L shape almost without a sharp corner, that might be easier, but it's just like a backward C with a tail. Boop. That's it. There's your light reflection. So you want to drag that line down just a little bit, and you want to take your white gel paint and put just a small dot right under that little tail you just created. Bam, that's it. Go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds. For the shadow, you just want to use your black gel paint, create a small line, and then a small L shape right underneath it. Go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds. I went ahead and framed out my hot pink stiletto nail off camera with my long liner brush. And this one, as you can see, we can see the black lines from the overhead view. This wrinkled. I'm going to show you how I fixed this in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and frame out my long peach nail with my long liner brush. Again, you want to make sure that your lines on each side are a bit wide. You should be able to see the lines from the overhead view of the nail. And you want to make sure the line at the free edge is wider as well. That's what's going to give you that pop art look. And just as a reminder, I do like to do my frame with regular gel polish. I don't like to do the framing with gel paint or gel liner. I like to do this part with regular gel polish, and I cure it for 60 seconds. For the cuticle area, I'm going back to my medium length liner brush and just curving those lines on the side in with that cuticle area. Again, you don't want this area to have sharp corners, so take your time, clean it up if you need to, and just get those lines to curve. Once I'm happy, I'm going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. Going back to our yellow nail, which has been fully cured, I'm going to add my highlight color with that pastel yellow from earlier. I'm going to start by cleaning off my short liner brush and putting just a little bit of this pastel yellow on my palette. I'm going to take my short liner brush and create just a small highlight with that pastel yellow right over here, and I'm going to cure this for 60 seconds. I have not forgotten about these wrinkles. We will be getting to them in just a few moments. I'm going to go ahead and clean off the inhibition layer from the pink area of the nail. I'm going to use my medium liner brush and the white gel paint to create the reflection the same way we did on the yellow nail. I'm going to use my dotting tool to put the little dot right underneath, and I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds. While my pink nail is curing, I'm going to add my reflection to the peach nail, and I'm going to cure for 60 seconds. With a short liner brush and the black gel paint, I'm going to go ahead and create my shadows on the other side and cure for 60 seconds. For the shadow on the peach nail, I'm going to be doing it a bit higher up because we are adding that darker detail to the free edge corner. Once I'm happy with this, I'm going to cure for 60 seconds. I'm going to take the pastel pink to create my highlight the same way that I did with that yellow, and I'm using my short liner brush. Once I'm happy with this, I'm going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. All three nails are in the lamp, just getting a final cure. For our final bit of detail on our peach nail, I'm going to put down just a little bit of that orange color onto my palette, and I am going to use my small detail brush. I'm going to create the same shape of the reflection near the cuticle area with the dark orange at the free edge area. So instead of the tail going toward the free edge, this time the little tail is going to go upward toward the cuticle. I've seen some people actually paint the entire corner first before they even frame the nail, and I think that looks pretty cool too. But this is just simple and basic, and we're going to cure for 60 seconds. To finish off our nails, I am going in with my glossy top coat first. Whenever I do matte nails, if you've been following me for a while, then you know I like to do a very thin layer of no wipe glossy top coat first, and then once it's fully cured, I'll go in with my matte no wipe top coat. I just feel like doing that glossy layer first helps my matte hold up a lot better. So here's our wrinkled nail. It is fully cured. The wrinkles are there. Once you go in with the glossy top coat, it is thick enough that it will fill in those wrinkles. And look, voila, they are gone. Um, Simply because the product is thick enough to fill those little wrinkles in. It's like nothing ever happened. And you can go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. I'm going in with the glossy no wipe top coat on the peach nail as well and curing for 60 seconds. You could absolutely stop here and keep your pop art nails shiny, but I feel like you get more of a pop art effect when the nails are matte. So I am now going in with a very thin and even layer of matte no wipe top coat and curing for 60 seconds. All the nails have been fully cured. I'm just going to take a lint-free wipe to hold this nail because there is a little bit of an inhibition layer and I don't want to get my fingerprints on the nail, and I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the free edge. Don't forget to wipe all of your nails with rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope this video has helped you. I will see you all again soon in the next one. Bye.
They say she get it from her mama. I'ma say you got it right. Body rude is polite. Don't be in the humble type. Tell me, is you down? Cause I'm trying to go good tonight. Posing, hope she's there to right. I just wanna live in a fantasy.